Are you a man pretending to be a woman?
I'm not pretending to be anything. I'm just stressed.
What do you think about my son, who might think that he can put on makeup and put on fancy clothing and high heels and have his penis cut off and take estrogen so he can grow fake boobs like those?
So, Dr. Amanda Weinstein, been a while. Great to have you back. I thought that we were going to have another dunk session on Moms for Liberty after this viral video of, I think her name is Beth Bourne, a Moms for Liberty co-chair in California, ranted and tantrumed against these performers, these drag performers in Honolulu. But the story just gets sad so quickly. I'll go there in a second, but let me get your gut reaction to this incredibly immature display we just saw.
Oh, I mean, you said it right there, right? This is a mom. Like, as a mom, we tend to not want our kids to have tantrums. So it seems kind of weird that you would put a whole tantrum on display as a mom and as an adult. But like, ignoring the whole tantrum thing, it's also like she's having a tantrum about what some other adult is doing with their life. I don't know how far we have come that so many people on the far right are so obsessed with what other people are doing that has no real effect on them, right? You can scroll on by, you can walk on by, go out to the beach, go enjoy the beach on your vacation in Hawaii. You don't need to stay in the hotel lobby waiting to judge who's ever coming there and what they're wearing, but that's apparently how she likes to spend her vacation, which, you know, choices. However, I don't know why she thinks that she should get to choose what someone else wears, how they identify, how they act when it's not hurting other people, right? The only person hurting people is her by ruining everyone's vacation and clearly trying to ruin this person's day. I mean, the other thing that she's acting shocked by, like she has never seen a man dress up as a woman. Please. We've all seen Mrs. Doubtfire and it was fine then. It was totally fine. We all love Dana Carvey's church lady on SNL. Fantastic. Right? It's a character he's playing because it is fun and people have fun. People like to dress up. Wait till she hears about Halloween. Man, is she going to be triggered.
What's funny in the worst kind of way about Moms for Liberty is how many freedoms they oppose.
Oh, so many
right?
freedoms.
Moms for Liberty wants to take away some of the most fundamental liberties like freedom of assembly, freedom to dress how I want to. I mean, go for it.
Oh, I mean, somewhere the right decided to define freedom, not as freedom to do something, but freedom to take a right away from someone else. That is how they define freedom, right? Your freedom ends at someone else's freedom, right? You have the freedom to wear what you want and do what you want as long as you're not imposing on the freedoms on other people. The problem is their definition of freedom is entirely imposing on the freedoms of other people. That's not freedom. I don't know what we call that, but that's not freedom and that's not liberty.
We did actually a couple episodes on Bridget Ziegler, the Moms for Liberty co-founder and school board president, I think, in Sarasota, Florida. And we wanted to focus on that because of her hypocrisy, engaging in this weird threesome with her husband, who's was chair of the Republican Party in Florida, and just the projection that is so present in all of their hate-filled speech, the judgment that they cast without ever looking inwards or being honest about, their own lives. And now in the case of Beth Bourne, it turns out, I'm going to put this headline up here from the Sacramento Bee, she's got a non-binary kid that she's estranged from. And obviously, this kind of behavior is manifesting some kind of deep-seated, I don't know if it's trauma. It's certainly born from a place of judgment and hate. But I feel like we keep hearing this story again and again, whether it's Bridget Ziegler trying to ban books, even though, she lives the kind of life that would be X-rated by her own standard. Beth Bourne estranged from her own family member, lashing out at members of the LGBTQ community in public. Are we making too much of these two data points, or is there something going on when we see just the vitriol and anger coming from groups like Moms for Liberty, masking what I think are some very deep personal character issues?
Oh, I mean, I know that we have heard from psychologists that say when you see a video like you see this woman harassing a drag queen on vacation, think about how they're trying to make you feel. That is how they feel, right? She feels clearly angry and hurt and upset. And that is how she wants to make other people feel, because that is how she feels, right? This is kind of a natural reaction that humans have. And she is clearly angry. She is clearly hurt. She wants other people to be angry and hurt with her for things that have happened in her own life, right? And then, as you mentioned, it comes to light that she has a family member she's estranged from, right? Because she has a family member who she was taught, right, that this is wrong or that this is sinful, to be a drag queen, to be trans, to be non-binary, to be gay, all of these things, right? She thinks is sinful. So when it's sinful, there is blame, right? So that blame a lot of times is on moms, right? So how do you deflect it, right? So she is trying to deflect blame she feels for basically her community telling her that this is wrong and that this is sinful, to deflect that blame onto someone else. Who can I blame for this, right? So she is trying to blame society, this made up woke culture, our education system as indoctrinating children. Like, you can go down a list of things they want to blame people for things in their own life. But rarely do you see these people actually have some kind of self-introspection and thinking, what role did I play in me being estranged from my kid? Rarely do they ask themselves that questions, right? It is blaming someone else for something that they view as a sin. But the problem is, right, that is something that society or their church or their community or whoever put on them, that they now want to pass on to other people, that blame that they feel, rather than questioning, should I actually be feeling blame for this right now?
That is so insightful, and it's why I am so glad we have you on this show, because I hadn't thought of it in those terms. This is a woman who probably spent her entire life being told that identifying in that kind of way as non-binary, like her child has identified, is sinful. And she has internalized that, and likely deep down wonders if she contributed to that air quotes sinfulness somehow. And I'm rephrasing it that way because I want us to acknowledge that that's an indictment of a larger community and society at large that has conditioned people like this woman to react with hate, even when a member of their own family decides to come out. I mean, it almost makes me want to have sympathy, understanding that this is a much larger societal problem driven by, often, let's be honest, communities of faith or political communities that don't have that kind of tolerance. And she is a symptom of that in a very obvious, demonstrable way in this Honolulu hotel lobby.
I mean, I think it's interesting that you use the word hate there. And so actually, when I got married, one of the verses that we read when we got married is a Bible verse that basically says, between faith, hope, and love, the greatest of these is love, right? So she is clearly choosing hate over love, right? And to me, that would also be over faith and over hope as well. But when she is choosing some view of faith over love, right, that is very clear in the Bible that is wrong. Choose love, always choose love. And she clearly has not made that choice in her own, kind of religious views. And I think it's more that you mentioned, like, it's more than a couple data points. We see story after story of projection like this, where people are projecting what they view as their own sin, their own failing, and they're projecting it onto other people. Whether it's, if you're having an affair, which they view as sinful, projecting that on other people, right? And we see it over and over with, open up your news feed of a church pastor. There's, one recently of a church pastor who sexually assaulted a 12-year-old, right? And the way that they overcome that sin is by sacrifice, but it's rarely them sacrificing. It is by forcing that sacrifice on other people, that women should sacrifice, that the victims of sexual assault should sacrifice, that you name it. Here's the ways other people should sacrifice to make up for my own sins, right? Which is just a terrible way to go about life, and is part of why we are here where we are, where you get these people in lobbies just screaming at other people to try and fix what they view as the sin in their life.
Yeah. I want to end with this clip of one of the victims of this tirade. You mentioned the power of love to overcome, and this person's reaction to, I'm sure, an experience they get all the time. We'll close with this clip. Thank you so much, Amanda.
Thanks, Ken.
The three people in drag said that they had permission to shoot in the lobby. The person who shot the video of Bourne says he does not want an apology from her because he doesn't feel it would be sincere.
He gets sad a little, but such is life, you just got to keep moving and keep living and try and live fulfilled somehow. So, but none of us walked away shattered or broken.
What do you think about my son?
Since the video went viral, Imazumi says that he's gotten support from all over, including from Governor Josh Green.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.